The death of the grammar slave. Finding your silent power. Look at your hands. They are shaking. Your throat is a dry, silent desert. Your brain is a library of rules you can never use. You are a slave to a grammar book that has stolen your soul. Listen closely. The war for your fluency is not won in your head. It is won in your muscles. Listen to the sound of your own hesitation. Do you hear it? That split second of static in your brain? That heavy, suffocating silence that fills the air right before you are supposed to speak? That is not just a pause. That is a crime scene. It is the moment where your heart hammers against your ribs like a trapped animal, and your tongue feels like a piece of cold, dead lead in your mouth. You are waiting. You are standing on the edge of a conversation, looking in, but you cannot enter. You are waiting for the perfect sentence to materialize in the air before you dare to let it out. You are waiting for a green light from a textbook that does not know your name. You are waiting for permission from a teacher who retired 10 years ago. This, my friend, is the desert. It is a vast, scorching, and indifferent expanse of rules, tenses, and red ink. And in this desert, you have not been a student. You have been a slave. Look at the prison you have built for yourself. You have spent years, perhaps decades, hauling heavy bricks of grammar and stacking them one by one. You have memorized the present perfect, the passive voice, and the conditional type 3. You have polished these bricks until they shine. But look around you. The walls are now so high that you can no longer see the horizon. You have built a fortress of correctness that has become your own tomb. You think your problem is a lack of vocabulary. You think if you just knew 500 more words, the gates would open. You are lying to yourself. Your problem is not a lack of information. Your problem is a coup d'état of the mind. Your intellect has overthrown your instinct. Your brain has taken your mouth hostage, and it is demanding a ransom you can never pay. Perfection. Look at yourself in the mirror of your mind. You likely have a PhD in English theory, but a kindergarten level of courage. You can explain the subtle nuances of a gerund, but you cannot order a simple coffee in a foreign land without breaking into a cold, pathetic sweat. This is the great illusion of the modern world. We have been conditioned to believe that English is a subject to be solved, like calculus, like a chemical equation, like a puzzle. But I am here to tell you that English is not a logic problem to be deconstructed by your prefrontal cortex. English is a visceral, physical act. It is a vibration starting in the solar plexus. It is a rhythmic contraction of the diaphragm. It is a precise choreography of the jaw, the lips, and the breath. When you try to think your way into fluency, you are committing a fundamental biological error. You are trying to learn how to survive a storm at sea by reading a damp manual about buoyancy. When the waves hit, the manual will dissolve and you will drown. You have been drowning for years. Isn't it time to start swimming? I am standing here at the edge of the oasis, and I am offering you a hand. But to take it, you must commit a murder. You must reach deep inside yourself and kill the grammar slave that lives there. This is not a gentle transition. This is not a 10-minute-a-day trick. This is a brutal, bloody rebirth. We are shifting the seat of power from the ivory tower of your cold intellect down into the raw, pulsing, sweating muscles of your face. We are moving from the why to the how. The world out there, it does not care about your prepositions. The billionaire in the boardroom, the local in the pub, the partner of your dreams. None of them are grading your syntax. They care if you move them. They care if your voice carries the weight of a warrior or the thin, shaky whimper of a victim. If you speak with a proudly broken tongue, fueled by conviction and fire, you are a king among men. But if you remain silent because you are afraid of a mistake, you are a ghost. You are irrelevant. You are invisible. Think about your native language for a moment. Think about the way you use it. Do you pause to calculate the syntax before you burst out laughing at a joke? Do you analyze the verb conjugation before you scream in white-hot anger? No. It is an instinct. It is a reflex. It is a legacy of sound that is woven into your very DNA. Your English must become the same. It must become an obsession of the mouth, not a calculation of the brain. We are going to stop treating your mind like a hard drive and start treating your tongue like a blade. We are going to forge new neural pathways that bypass the translation gate entirely. We are going to build a high-speed rail line from your heart directly to your lips. This is the promise of the Oasis. I will show you how to find your silent power, not through more study, but through a physical revolution, not through more knowledge, but through more action. But before we move forward, you must face the brutal truth. You must admit that your obsession with being correct is not a virtue. It is a mask. It is a shield you use to hide your fear. You are terrified of being judged. You are terrified of looking foolish. You are terrified of the raw, unpolished, and vulnerable version of yourself that comes out when the rules fail. But listen to me closely. The Oasis warrior knows that a mistake is not a failure. A mistake is the sound of a new muscle tearing and growing stronger. A stumble is not a fall. It is a step toward mastery. Perfection is a cage that keeps you small. Fluency is a wide-open field where you can run forever. Which one will you choose to live in? Which one will you choose to die in? Every rule you have ever memorized is a link in a chain. Every list of irregular verbs is a lock on your throat. You have been told by the desert people, the teachers, the systems, the apps, that if you just study hard enough, one day the door will magically swing open and you will be free. That is a lie. It is the greatest lie ever told in education. The door is not locked. The door is already wide open. You are just too busy staring at your map to realize that your feet are already on the threshold. We are going to burn that map today. We are going to trust the feet. We are going to trust the breath. This is the paradigm shift. English is not what you know. English is what you do. It is a performance. It is a ritual. It is a physical manifestation of your very soul. If you treat it like a chore, it will remain a burden. If you treat it like a weapon, it will make you unstoppable. Are you tired of being a spectator in your own life? Are you done being the person who understands every word of the movie but can't say a word to the person sitting next to them? If you are ready to stop being a slave to the rules and start being a master of the sound, then you are ready for what comes next. But remember, once you enter the oasis, there is no going back to the desert. You will never be able to look at a grammar book again without seeing the bars of a cell. Your transformation begins the moment you stop thinking and start breathing. It begins the moment you realize that your mouth has more wisdom than your mind. I ask you now, as you stand on the burning sand, do you want to remain a prisoner of your own perfection, or are you ready to bleed, to sweat, and to roar for your voice? This is not about English anymore. This is about your right to exist in the world. This is about your legacy. The grammar slave is dead. Long live the warrior. Look at your hands again. Are they still shaking? Good. That is the energy of a star being born. That is the vibration of the silent power waking up inside you. Don't fight it. Use it. Are you ready to stop being a student and start being a force of nature? Join the oasis. Subscribe to the revolution of the mouth. Step 1. The muzzle of the mind and the architecture of breath. Look at how you breathe when you are nervous. Your chest is tight. Your breath is shallow, trapped in your upper rib cage. You are suffocating your own potential before you even open your lips. Listen to me. You cannot speak a language of power with the air of a victim. The first step to reclaiming your voice is to reclaim your biology. You must learn to breathe from the gut, the place where your courage lives. I want you to imagine your breath is the fuel and your vocal cords are the engine. If the fuel flow is restricted, the engine stalls. Every morning, before you touch a phone or a book, you will stand in front of a mirror. You will place your hands on your stomach and breathe in until your lungs feel like they are about to burst. And then you will release a sound, not a word, a sound, a raw, guttural vibration that shakes the windows of your room. This is the oasis roar. You are clearing the debris of years of silence. You are telling your brain that the mouth is now in command. Do you feel that tingling in your fingertips? That is the oxygen returning to your nervous system. That is the feeling of a weapon being loaded. Your brain will try to tell you this is stupid. It will whisper that you look ridiculous. That is the grammar slave trying to claw its way back to power. Ignore it. Silence it with the volume of your own existence. If you do not dominate your breath, the rules will dominate you. Every single sound in the English language requires a specific pressure of air. If you are breathing like a mouse, you will speak like a mouse. Deepen the breath. Toughen the spirit. The oasis is not for the faint of heart or the short of breath. Step 2. The ritual of the shadow and the death of the eye. You have been trained to rely on your sight. You want to see the word. You want to read the subtitle. You want the comfort of the printed page. But I am telling you, the eyes are the primary saboteurs of the ear. When you look at a word like thought, your brain sees 7 letters. It tries to process the O-U-G-H. It slows down to analyze the spelling. But your ear? Your ear only hears one clean, sharp sound. To reach the oasis, you must go blind. You must find a speaker, not a teacher, but a leader, an actor, a person of raw charisma. You will put on your headphones and you will close your eyes. You will tie a blindfold if you have to. And then you will become their shadow. But you will not shadow their meaning. You will shadow their vibe. You will mimic the way they snap their jaw. You will mimic the way they swallow their T's. You will mimic the way they stretch their vowels like a predator stretching its limbs. This is not imitation. This is a neural hijacking. You are stealing their muscle memory. You are bypassing the dictionary center of your brain and installing the rhythm center. You must do this until your face muscles ache. You must do this until you can feel the sweat dripping down your neck. If your jaw doesn't feel like it has been to the gym, you haven't been shadowing. You've just been listening. We are looking for the silent power, the ability to speak without deciding to speak. This only comes when the mouth knows the rhythm better than the brain knows the rule. Repeat the same 30 seconds of audio 50 times, 100 times, until the speaker's voice becomes your voice, until their breath becomes your breath. This is how you build a bridge across the desert. Step 3. The physical autopsy and the proudly broken tongue. Why are you so afraid of a mistake? Is someone going to die? Is the world going to end because you forgot an S at the end of a verb? No. The only thing that dies is your ego. And your ego needs to die for your voice to live. When you stumble, and you will stumble, I want you to stop, but do not apologize. Do not look at the floor. Do not say sorry. An Oasis warrior never apologizes for the sound of their own growth. Instead, you will perform a physical autopsy. You will ask, where did my muscle fail? Was your tongue too lazy to reach the roof of your mouth for that L? Was your jaw too locked to let the A breathe? You will take that specific, broken fragment of a sentence and you will repeat it. Not once, not twice. You will repeat it until it feels like silk. You will repeat it until it is so ingrained in your physical memory that you couldn't say it wrong if you tried. This is what it means to have a proudly broken tongue. It means you prioritize the impact of your message over the perfection of your mechanics. A man who speaks with passion, with eye contact, and with a vibrating chest, even with imperfect grammar, will always defeat the man who speaks perfect grammar with a trembling voice and shifty eyes. You are training to be a leader, not a secretary. You are training to be a weapon of influence, not a walking encyclopedia. Every time you trip, You are just finding a weak spot in your armor. Fix the armor. Sharpen the blade. Move on. The desert is full of perfect mutes. The oasis is full of imperfect legends. Step 4. The sanctuary of speed and the collapse of the safety net. Most people tell you to slow down. They say, speak slowly so you don't make mistakes. They are teaching you to stay in the desert. They are teaching you to remain a slave to your inner translator. I am giving you a different command. Speak faster than you can think. Find a text, a speech, or a thought, and push it. Read it at 1, 5 speed, then 2, 0 speed. Push your mouth until the words start to blur and your tongue begins to tie itself in knots. Why? Because you need to experience the breaking point. You need to see that even when the grammar falls apart, you are still alive. You need to train your mouth to move independently of your brain's permission. This is the sanctuary of speed. In this state of high-velocity chaos, your brain finally gives up. It realizes it cannot keep up with the mouth, so it stops trying to translate. It stops trying to correct. It finally, mercifully, shuts up. This is where the magic happens. This is where you find your flow. By training at the edge of collapse, you make normal conversation feel like a slow, easy walk in the park. You are an athlete of the lip. You are a marathon runner of the throat. When you return from the sprint of speed to the steady pace of life, you will find that the translation prison has vanished. The walls have melted away because you move too fast for the guards to catch you. You are free. You are fluent. You are powerful. Do you understand the weight of what I am telling you? You have been looking for a secret in the pages of a book, but the secret is in your jaw. The secret is in your diaphragm. The secret is in the raw, brutal repetition of sounds that make your civilized brain feel uncomfortable. You must embrace the discomfort. You must fall in love with the burn in your throat and the fatigue in your face. Because that burn is the feeling of your old, weak self being consumed by the fire of the warrior. You are not studying English. You are occupying English. You are taking it over, territory by territory, muscle by muscle. How much longer will you wait? How many more opportunities will you let slip through your fingers because you were too busy checking a conjugation table? The time for study is over. The time for training has begun. The oasis is not a destination you find on a map. It is a state of being you build with your own breath. Look at the rules one last time. Take them in, and then forget them. Trust your mouth. Trust the animal instinct that lived in you before you ever saw a classroom. The language is not out there. The language is in here, in your chest, in your blood, in your muscles. Look at how far you have travelled. You started this journey as a slave to the red ink, a prisoner of the desert of translation. You were a person who possessed the knowledge of a king, but lived with the silence of a beggar. But look at you now. Can you feel the difference? Can you feel the blood pumping into your face, the heat in your throat, and the raw, unyielding power of a mouth that finally knows its own strength. This is the rebirth. This is the moment you stop being a student of English and start being a master of your own destiny. You are no longer just learning a language. You are reclaiming your right to be heard. You are carving your legacy into the air with every breath you take. The world is no longer a place of judgment. It is a stage for your performance. The people who once intimidated you with their fluency are no longer your masters. They are your peers. Some of them might even become your followers. Because true power doesn't come from perfect grammar. True power comes from the silent power of a soul that refuses to be muted. Think about the years you wasted. Think about the nights you sat hunched over a desk, memorizing lists that felt like ash in your mouth. Think about the times you bit your tongue in a meeting, or stayed quiet at a party, or looked at the floor when a stranger asked you a question. That version of you is dead. Leave them in the sand. Let the wind of the oasis bury them. You have no more use for that person. You are a warrior now, and a warrior does not look back at the prison they escaped. A warrior looks only at the horizon. You have the tools. You have the rhythm. You have the muscle memory that will carry you through the darkest storms of conversation. When your brain tries to freeze, your mouth will remember. When your heart tries to race, your breath will steady you. You have built a sanctuary inside your own body. You are the oasis. But remember this. The oasis is not a place where you go to rest. It is a place where you go to sharpen your blade. The desert is always waiting. The grammar slave will always try to whisper in your ear when you are tired, telling you that you aren't good enough, that you just made a mistake, that you should stay quiet to be safe. When you hear that voice, I want you to laugh. I want you to roar. I want you to speak faster, speak louder, and speak with more fire than ever before. Use your proudly broken English like a battering ram. Break down the doors of opportunity. Force the world to listen to the vibration of your spirit. You are not here to be correct. You are here to be unstoppable. You are here to leave a mark on this world that no textbook could ever describe. Your voice is your signature. Your sound is your soul. Never, ever let anyone, including yourself, take that away from you again. As you leave this sanctuary today, carry the weight of this truth with you. English is not a subject. It is a physical embodiment of your courage. It lives in the movement of your jaw. It lives in the depth of your lungs. It lives in the raw, brutal persistence of your practice. Go out there and make mistakes. Make beautiful, loud, glorious mistakes. Stumble with pride. Speak with a heart that is wide open and a mouth that is unafraid. The silent power is not about being quiet. It is about the power that exists in the silence before you speak. The confidence of knowing that when you open your lips, the world will change. You are the creator of your own oasis. You are the architect of your own freedom. The journey across the sand was long, but you have arrived. You are home. Look at your hands one last time. They are no longer shaking with fear. They are vibrating with the energy of a weapon ready to be used. This is your moment. This is your legacy. This is your coup d'état. The mouth has won. The mind has surrendered. The warrior has been born. Do not just speak English. Live it. Breathe it. Obsess over it. Until the day you die, let your voice be the sound of a person who refused to stay in the desert. Let your life be the proof that the oasis is real. You are no longer a student. You are a force of nature. Now, go out there and speak. Speak until the world knows your name. Speak until the silence itself is afraid of you. Your journey doesn't end here. It begins here. Every single breath is a new chance to be powerful. Will you stay in the safety of your silence, or will you roar for the world to hear? The oasis is yours. The power is yours. The voice is yours. Welcome to your new life. Welcome to the revolution of the mouth. This is the English Oasis. The desert ends here.